Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure. Today's video is talking about some things that I've brought back from the thrift shop and just why I bought them. Just give you an idea of what I look for when I'm out and about. Now, one of the things that I tend to find happens a lot is things like this, where you have some sort of like little cheap thing on a silver necklace. Not like the best silver necklace in the world, but still, when we check it with our magnet, we don't have any sort of response. Everything looks right for silver. It's properly marked for silver. When it's $1.25, which is what it was, uh, why not go home with it? Um, I tend to grab a lot of necklaces in this fashion because I figure when do you never not need a silver necklace around? A lot of people who say, "Hey, do you I need a this for a gift." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, here you go. Just give me $2. That'll give me a profit. Here we go. 925 Italy. This one's actually quite a bit nicer than the other one. And there's nothing wrong with it. Plus, it's got this nice little carved mother of pearl, looks like little mother of pearl flower. So those are $1.25 each. And if you have to ask why I bought those, I think you know. Now, going down to a whole dollar, I think it's $1. Italy, 925. Little bracelet or anklet. I think it's probably a bracelet. I think it's a little too small for an anklet. But again, just grabbing silver, it's out there. So those things I think are pretty self-explanatory. Things like this. This was $3. Bangkok, Thailand. Whenever you see a bunch of like souvenir spoons, definitely take a closer look. This is Niella. That's what this black is called, where they intentionally darken it so that they can engrave into it and get yourself some contrast. But if we look in the back here, we've got Thailand, sterling, 925. So I guess the question is, let me bust out the scale here real quick. Was this $3 in silver? 15 grams. Yeah, that's more than $3 in silver right there. I suppose the other question too we can ask is how much in silver did we get in these necklaces? Now, I think necklaces are always going to be worth more than their silver, but I like to know how much silver I have in stuff, just sort of as a floor for the cost, because here we know that we have at least, let's see if I can get this off quickly. There we go. Nope, got to do it the other way. Here we have at least $20 in silver, just in silver right there. So we know that's at the very least how much these things are worth. So it's always nice to have an idea. You can be surprised sometimes by how much some things end up weighing when you actually figure that out. I certainly have been surprised. Sometimes these things weigh less than you'd think, but other times, a little bit more. Okay, so those are most of the like obvious why did you buy that. Some of the less obvious why did you buy that are things like this. Now, sometimes when I'm buying this stuff too, I don't really have a lot of time to look at stuff. I'm just kind of grabbing whatever. And when you're paying $1 or $2 for things, you can certainly afford to do that. And I just found this interesting. I thought it might be silver, although now that I see it under magnification, I'm thinking not. I think it's probably just silver plated. But it's worth checking for any kind of markings, because you never know. But if this one isn't marked, I think we're just going to presume that it's not. But I don't throw anything away. So you, my audience, can always tell me, hey, you're making a mistake. If you know what kind of bracelet this is, um, you can tell me in the comments. I tend to find that, especially when I'm out at thrift shops and garage sales, that things being interesting or standing out in some fashion typically make me want to bring it home. Even if I haven't identified exactly what it is, as long as it's cheap, it's always good. Then there's just things that are like, okay, what's going on here? And I don't quite understand what's going on with this piece. This, I think, is like plastic. Yeah, it's warm to the touch. And I don't know if it was added at a later date, but the pin at the top, you can see here, is sterling. And I think it was probably sterling vermeil, so gold over sterling. But it's just kind of a striking little pin. It's not an expensive one, but it is interesting enough that I thought it might be worth grabbing, bringing it home, and then I'm hoping somebody can tell me something about it. I haven't really had a chance to research it much, but if you know something about this in the comments, let me know. Um, I can't tell. I don't think it has a tremendous amount of age. It looks like it's a fairly modern pin. But it's always nice to get a little bit of sterling. And I thought it was just interesting. So yeah, sometimes I buy things for that reason. Sometimes I buy things. My neighbor sells a lot of bolos, and she doesn't have the ability to pick much, so I'll grab bolos whenever they're like this one. I think it was $1.50. Interesting stone. I'm not sure what exactly is going on with the stone. Huh. But the bolo cords themselves cost her like $5 whenever she's going to make a new bolo. So even if she doesn't want the bolo itself, she's always happy to get a cord at a discounted price. Now this, you may be wondering what's going on here. It's a little bit dirty, but this seemed to have like a little bit of age to it. Maybe like 50s, 60s. I'm not sure. The clasp arrangement seemed to be fairly nice, not like super high end, but I thought it was nice, and I just thought it was an interesting piece. Like I like the color, I like the pattern, I like the fact it was leaves. They are plastic. I don't know what kind of plastic. But here I can zoom in. But again, this is the kind of thing that I will tend to grab even when I don't really know what's going on with it because I like it and it's cheap. And I tend to find, and I suspect anyone who's out there buying treasure like this knows what I mean. If something seems a little off or a little unusual or a little different, and it's got a little bit of age to it, I usually find that when all is said and done, I'm happy I brought it home. And this, I think this is just all dirty. It just needs to get cleaned up. Maybe do that with Little Dawn at some point. But again, it's another one of those things where if you want to tell me about it, I would love to know because it interests me. And at the moment, my life is such that I have very little time to research things. I kind of can take care of the kids, buy things like this, and make videos. Or one of those things can kind of go away, and I can do some research. So, well, excuse me, yeah, make videos. I need sleep. I need much more sleep than I'm getting. Okay, let's go to some of the more interesting things, at least in my opinion. I think this might be silver. I haven't actually had a chance yet to look close at it. I think it's a children's ring. It's got a real silver look to it. I don't know if there's any markings in it, though. Yeah, there they are. It's got a 925 in there, or 935, 9 something 5. I just found it to be a very interesting little ring. And it is exceptionally tiny. You know what we have? Because I have been investing some of that money that the YouTube advertisers give me from you, my awesome audience watching, to buy a few tools. And one of those tools is a way to measure. So that's a 2.5, which seems to me to be very small. Now this one's even smaller, to the point where it won't even go on my mandrel. It's not even on 1. And I'm thinking this one might be for somebody who's very petite. This one I think is a baby ring. And I just thought that was too cool for $1. A couple garnets, looks like. I'm not sure if there's any markings on the inside. Looks like it's been resized at some point. I don't know why you would resize something like this. But you can also see very distinctly, it's not gold. It's gold fill. And if you look at the edge, see in the center here, we have gold. And then you have brass on the outside edge. So I think it's a little gold fill baby ring that got resized. I guess for a smaller baby? I don't know. Or maybe it was a larger ring that was resized to put on a baby. I'm not sure. I think it's adorable. I thought it was well worth the $1. Okay. Last but not least, whatever the heck is going on here. So we seem to have, I don't know, looks like a ruby. Let me see. I've got a black light here. Got to turn off some lights. Let's turn off a couple lights and we'll see, does this thing glow proper? Does. I think. Is it glowing? Yep. So I think that is indeed a ruby. Let's turn on the lights again here. Which I thought is kind of interesting. But I'll show you why else I think it's interesting. It's held on with a nut. Isn't that nutty? You can see it's not even like on there great. In fact, off it comes. Boop. I don't know what on earth is going on with this thing, other than my best guess for this piece. I think it's silver. And I think what it might be is maybe like a mother's pin, or like grandma's pin, and you can just keep putting grandkids in each slot. Maybe I was hoping there'd be some kind of marking on it, but I'm not seeing anything. What I am going to do is polish it up a second because it is bothering me. Yeah, this thing has to be silver. All right, let's put our ruby back in it. Yeah, and it just goes in, and then your nut just screws on. put it on right, I guess. Oh, let's not lose you. And all I can figure is that this was intended to be something. Yeah, there it goes. It's like that. It was something that was intended to be added onto with more little stars with different gems, which makes me think it was like for a grandma, maybe. Maybe it's some sort of Christmas kind of motif. I'll go test it real quick and verify that it is in fact silver, although I'm certain it is. I will be back in just a moment. Maybe I should pause the camera, huh? Yeah, there can be no doubt this thing, that's the silver acid test right there. So that red indicates that we have a lot of silver in there. Now, confusingly, I also dropped a little bit of 10 karat acid, scratched it again and did a little 10 karat acid, and it held up very weirdly well to 10 karat acid, but I can't imagine that this thing would be like 10 karat white gold that's then plated with yellow gold. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I might go play with it a little bit more. So we're going to do that corner real good down in the corner here. Make sure we get through whatever's on the surface. And I'm going to do 3 good dots here. This is to take off any kind of plating. This one is going to be for gold testing. And this one's going to be for silver testing. All right. So we got down through lots of material there. I'm going to hit this one with 10 karat acid. There's 10 karat acid. And I'm going to hit the top one with silver test acid. And I'm going to hit the bottom one with 18 karat. See what happens. Okay. So this thing is definitely silver. And it makes me wonder why I thought it was gold at all, possibly, now that I'm seeing this. But yeah, we've got a nice red color here. We've got the blue that people like to talk about with 18 karat and silver. And silver, frankly, makes sense. So I guess we don't really need to have an XRF machine anyways. We just need to read our test acid a little bit better. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. And most importantly, I hope that you learned something from the video that you can use to go out and find yourself some treasure.
Like this, I've been Thomas.